Hey guys, and welcome back into my studio. I'm so sorry if the noise of my printers behind here is so loud, but I am in the middle of printing lots of things. I've got my mug printer here that is printing away for mugs, and I've got my art printer down here which is printing some greeting cards today. But I have had so many requests for this kind of video, and I'm not even really requests, I just get messages all the time asking the same things. So I thought I'm just going to do a really quick video to cover all of this and hope that it helps, because I really, so many people are messaging me that I can't even get back to you all individually about this. It's about the papers that I use for my products, specifically the different types of papers that I buy for different products that I print on in my business. And I have mentioned these in other videos, but they're clearly being overlooked, or it's maybe just not clear enough. People are missing it. And I'm, like I said, I'm just being bombarded with messages about this. So I thought, while I'm actually printing and got all this stuff out, I'm going to sit down with you guys and just talk you through really quickly. There's no fluff with this vlog. It's just going to be straight to the point. What are the papers from what companies that I buy for my products? So let's go with this. Total disclaimer, these are just the things that I use. They might not suit you, they might not suit your art style. If you try them and they're not right for you, please don't come back to me and get annoyed at me for saying, this is just what I use. You don't have to use them, it's just what I use. So, with that all said, let's jump straight into it and say art prints. Art print paper, A4, A5, same company. I really like these. I think it's great. I use it all the time. Again, I'm going to put all the links to these down below. What I will say about these papers is that most of them come, doesn't matter what size of paper that you buy, or if it's matte or gloss or whatever, most of them will be single-sided. And this is really important. I've read a lot of reviews of people saying how terrible that they think this paper is, and I actually think the problem is that they're putting it in their printer wrong. It's a really simple thing. So every time you open a box of new paper, it actually comes with little instructions to tell you how the paper has been packed in the box so that you know the correct side to print on. And this might seem like such a stupid thing. They're quite, it's not that obvious. It is when you get used to the paper. I know which side is which. If it's been put down on the table, I can pick it up and tell. But if you're first starting off with this, I'm assuming the gloss would be really obvious. But with the matte especially, it can be quite difficult to tell which is which. But if you print on the wrong side of the paper, it's very obvious because the print will kind of bleed out. It's much more fibrous on the back. It's not got a smooth coating on it. So the ink kind of sits and then spreads on the paper. So it's going to look fuzzy and blurred. And that was some of the reviews I was reading about this, people saying it was bad. And that's why, because I think they're printing on the wrong side of the paper. So figure out, what is your printer? Which way is it? Is it like a feed and a roll that it comes round from the bottom up, or are you feeding in the back? And figure out which way, which side of the paper it gets printed on, and that way, when you print with this, it will come out fabulously. I really like this. Like I said, I use the matte paper. It comes in all different weights that you can get as well, depending on what it is that you're printing. And like I said, I'm sure they do gloss, they do photo paper, all different things. This is the one that I use for my art prints. I really like it. I think it's really lovely, and the prints last really well, and the colours come out great. So that is me for art paper. Nothing else to say on that. Lots of different sizes. Try it. Print on the right side. So next up is the paper that I use for my sublimation printer, which is my mug printing printer. Mug printing printer. When you're sublimating mugs or sublimating patterns onto other products which uses sublimation, you will need a special type of ink. I've gone through this before. I will link the video that I talk about how I print my mugs up here because it goes into more detail. But I will tell you here, this is the paper that I use. Again, it's A4. My printers are all A4 size. Ink Experts. These are the guys that I go to for everything to do with my sublimation printer. They help me get set up. They have all of the equipment that you will need for getting set up. And even down to things like cleaners. So I needed a specific cleaner. I had a blockage in this printer just before Christmas last year, which was a nightmare and totally stressed me out. But Ink Experts, again, they sold the correct dissolvent for the ink, and they explained it. It came in a little pack that explained what to do to clean it out. Fine, it worked perfectly fine. So Ink Experts is who I use. Again, I'm not affiliated with any of these people. I just use them and they've been really helpful for me, and I feel like they're the guys that cover all the bases of different things. They've also helped me with the settings for my computer, and you can get all of the ICC codes and everything that you need for sublimation printing on their website as well. So Ink Experts, for anything sublimation, that's who I use. Now I think it's important to say that I really like using, as much as I can, sort of sustainable things and eco-friendly alternative to things. I've also made a video about this. I will again link it up here. This is covering all of my packaging that I use that is eco-friendly, and again I do mention some of the companies that I'm mentioning today, but I think it's been overlooked in that video. But that is a good video to go and look at because it's got a lot of eco-friendly alternatives for packaging, and packaging is a huge thing if you are a product-based business. If you're starting a new business, please make it as eco-friendly as possible. It's not that hard. There are lots of companies out there that help with the packaging side of things and give you eco-friendly options, and like I said, the video that I've linked up here with eco-friendly packaging that I use is really helpful, so go and check that one out as well if you would like to look at that. But while we're on that topic, I'm just going to quickly mention, if I can get this out of this big box, this is the normal printer paper that I use, and by normal printer I mean I have another printer that's underneath my desk. It's what I print all my paperwork on, like receipts or invoices and things, or custom slips, all those things that I need for my business. That's not a product. I just print it on this. I'm going to show you. So I hope this shows. This paper that's in front is that paper. It's just bog standard everyday printer paper that's fully recyclable, but it is not white because it's recycled paper. So don't be surprised that it's not white. So I'm just going to hold it up. The paper in the back is white, and this is the recycled paper that I use for my printer. But again, I find it really helpful. There's no point in buying fancy paper for a normal printer when you're just going to be printing receipts. So please swap to recycled printer paper when it's not for anything else than a product, because you don't need it. You don't need it to be fancy. And that leads me on to the paper that I was holding in the background. Isn't paper actually, it's card. It's really thick card, and this is what I use to print my bookmarks on. I am going to put across the screen the company that this is from, because I can't remember what it is. I've unpacked it into my shelving unit here, so this is just bookmark paper, but don't know if you can hear that. That is because it's very thick card, but it still goes through my printer. And it only goes through my printer because I have a rear feeding printer, or the option to have a rear feeder on my printer for my art printer. And that's how I print on really thick card. So if you don't have rear feeding and you want to print something really thick, it's probably not going to work, because this card will not turn in a turning printer. It's too thick. So you do need a rear printer for that. I have also mentioned previously the printers types that I use. My art printer that I use is the Epson ET7700. That is my art printer. That's the one that has the rear paper feeder, which is really, really handy. So that's what I use for my bookmarks. Now we're on to greetings cards, and this is something that I have probably been asked the absolute most out of all of the different types of products that I make, is what card stock I use for greetings cards. Now again, this is very personal to your products and how you want them to turn out. The card stock that I buy is never gloss. I don't like shiny things. I don't like it to be super shiny. It's just not my aesthetic. It's not what I want for my business. So everything I order is matte. This just looks like white card because it is. But I buy, I don't know if it's going to show you this. Probably not. Oh, there, it might show you there. I do buy pre-cut and pre-scored card for making greetings cards. EcoCraft is where I buy this from. Now, I'm in the UK. EcoCraft is an eco-friendly business that focuses on packaging and materials for crafting businesses. They also do food packaging that's eco-friendly and all of those things. Again, I've mentioned this before in my eco-friendly packaging vlog. I use EcoCraft for lots of my packaging. All of the cello bags, so like the clear cello bags that I use, they are not plastic. They are from compostable materials, which I buy from EcoCraft. If you're in the US, I think your alternative business is called Eco Enclose. Again, I'm going to put all the links below. But if you search for eco-friendly card blanks, is what those are usually called, a greetings card blank, you'll be able to find lots of companies that sell them because it's one of the most bought crafting stocks. And again, they'll have loads of different sizes. EcoCraft have so many sizes that you need to get your head around the different things. So when I was saying that this paper for my greetings card is A5 and it folds to A6, the envelope that A6 fits is called C6. Now that might be quite confusing, but what I love about the EcoCraft website is it's broken down all the sizes into paper sizing and also the fit of sizes. So it will say the envelopes, because I buy my envelopes as well from EcoCraft, it will say C6 envelope to fit A6. Check EcoCraft, that's who I buy them from. They do lots of different types of card stock. Again, this is the white version of the recycled card. I think they've got, I'll put up on the screen the different ones that they do because I can't remember off the top of my head, but they do a different variety of different colours. Again, it will depend on the look that you want for your product. You can also order samples, if I'm not mistaken. You can order samples and that way you can actually see the card before you go and buy like a bulk of different ones. I would suggest doing that with any company. If you're going to be buying something for the first time, get different samples because it's really hard to photograph and show colourways and the flecks and things that you get in card on screen. So I would always do this. This I really like because although it's recycled, it is very, very white. You get other varieties of recycled card that look more recycled, if that makes sense. Like there'll be different flecks and different fibres and things throughout the card. They look really good as well. I just like the white ones for my particular products. But again, get some samples and have a wee look. But that is who I use for my greetings card. And now last, but by no means least, my stickers. Now I used to make my stickers myself. I used to print them on my art printer using sticker paper that I bought in, and then I used to cut them on the Cricut machine. And that was fine, but the paper that I was buying that went through my printer and that worked well with my Cricut machine wasn't fully recyclable, and that was something that I wanted to move on to. And also, if you have a Cricut machine and you're making your own stickers, you'll know it's quite a lengthy process to have them cut all of the different things, and then you get quite a lot of seconds and lots of things can go wrong with it. Anyway, when I was selling them on a large scale, which I do because I sell wholesale, using the Cricut was no longer viable, and it was something that I was looking into for quite a while. I wanted a company to print and cut the stickers for me, but I wanted them to be recyclable, and it took me a long time to find a company, and then I did, and I'm really pleased with these. And I have to say, being fully recyclable paper, they're really, really good quality. They're much better quality than the stickers that I was able to produce myself. They are obviously more expensive because you're having the company make them for you, but I can buy them in bulk, they're ready to go, and they don't have seconds and things like I was getting before. And the company that I use for these is Zap Creatives. Again, I'll leave all links below. You can go and have a check. Again, not affiliated with anybody. This is just who I found. The only thing that I would say about this company is I find the ordering process really, really complicated. Now, this could just be me. I have ordered these, I can't remember, quite a few times now, and I still struggle with the ordering process. I just don't find it that clear as to what it is. I'm just going to put that out there, that I don't find it that easy, but they do come out well. But check your proofs. So because you're ordering for another company, they need your artwork to be set out in a set way, so they give you a template for that. So get the correct template for the product that you are wanting designed if you're going to be using Zap. And then check your proofs. And what I mean by this is, once you've figured out the ordering process and you've sent them off your artwork, they send the artwork to the artwork team. The artwork team puts it together onto their program for, like, so if it's stickers, it's their sticker program, and it's how the sticker machine will read it to be able to print and cut it properly. Then they will send you a proof. Now, it's just like a PDF picture that you look at that has the stickers, so this is going to get really complicated. I'm so sorry if this doesn't make any sense. I'm going to try and do my best. I haven't had my lunch yet, so I'm a bit stressed. Anyway, so if you have a look at my sticker sheet, this is a full sheet of paper that has my individual stickers, so the individual illustrations on this sheet will peel off as an individual sticker. And to be able to do that, it means that you've got to set up the artwork that's got a little border so it can tell the machine where it's cutting. Now, once Zappa's got your artwork, they're going to send you a proof, and the proof looks like a picture of this, and then there's like a red outline as to where the cut line will be. Double check this, and I really mean like zoom right in, because it has to have a set amount of space between each different element. Otherwise, if they're too close together, which has happened to me before, but it was caught at the proof stage, it never went to cutting, which thank goodness, because that would have been a disaster. If they're too close together, then when you peel one sticker, literally the whole lot will peel off together because it's all joined in. So be really, really vigilant. Don't rush the proofing stage. Go through it and check it. And then you have to alter it. If it's not quite right, you have to alter it on your end and then send them the new artwork, and then they will do the proofing service again. I think you only get a couple of proofs. I can't remember off the top of my head. It might be 2, might be 3. I'm more inclined to say it's 2 proofs that you get before you then have to pay for more, because each time you send one, that's somebody's job, is to go through and do it. And if it's wrong, it's not their fault. You're not getting the measurements right. But that's one thing I would say, is just take your time with that, because once they've been like sent off and you've said okay to the proof, they'll go get printed and cut, and if they're wrong, it's your fault. It's not the company's fault. So they do very good. They're in communication with you a lot. But that also means that it's quite a slow process. And I think from like me ordering a set, even though I've got the templates down now, even for me ordering the set, going through the proof, making some tweaks, sending it back, it can take a couple of weeks to get them even to the cutting stage before you've even received the product. So I've made a few errors with this in the past. My last launch, the Fox launch, finally got it ready, but it was about 6 weeks. It took ages to get the actual physical stickers in my hand. So just be aware of that. But that is the company I use. I use them because they use recyclable paper. And again, it's much better quality than the ones that I was able to make online, but it's not as straightforward as you would hope. So again, please don't come at me if you try and use Zap and you find it really complicated, because I do as well. I just didn't understand it very well. But I just thought I would mention that because I have had a lot of people ask which company I use. I know a lot of people are the same. They don't want plasticky stickers anymore. You want them recyclable, and that's great. So if you want them, that's the company I found. If you find a better company, that's fine. No, I'm not dissing Zap at all, because again, I really like the quality that I get from the stickers. It's just personally, I find their ordering system quite confusing. But if you found a company that makes recyclable stickers, like this, a sticker sheet, then please let me know, leave them in the comments below. And so yeah, like I said, lots of people have asked me about this. This is why I wanted to make this video. I hope that wasn't too rambly. I hope it made sense. And again, all the links are down below. Let me know if you have any other materials and businesses that you like to use too, especially eco-friendly ones. I'm much more interested in them than other ones, so maybe please only leave me then. But yeah, I really appreciate you sticking with me today, and thanks again for watching. Thanks guys, bye. It's going to be a really quick roundup and a really fast. Listen to my printers, they are so noisy. It's about to freak out because the paper is stuck again. Again, like I said, I use A5 that folds to A4. Nope. I use A5 that folds to A6.